Have you ever wondered how Alexander the Great, a man from the small kingdom of Macedonia, came to influence the ancient land of Mesopotamia? Today we're embarking on a historical journey, a tale of conquest, and more importantly, a story of cultural exchange. We're talking about Alexander the Great, a name synonymous with power, strategy, and a vast empire that stretched from Greece to Egypt and as far east as India. But this video isn't just about Alexander. It's about an ancient land, Mesopotamia, the cradle of civilization nestled between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. This land, rich in history and culture, was forever changed by the Macedonian king. So, what exactly was this impact? How did Alexander's reign influence Mesopotamia's culture, administration, and the very fabric of its society? We're going to delve into all of this and more. So journey with us as we explore the profound impact of a Macedonian king on an ancient civilization. To understand the influence, we first need to understand the man himself. Alexander the Great, born in the summer of 356 BC to King Philip II of Macedonia and his wife Olympias, Alexander was destined for greatness from the start. Even as a young boy, Alexander exhibited a thirst for knowledge and a hunger for conquest. Tutored by none other than the philosopher Aristotle, he was not only trained in arts and science, but also in the strategies of war. By the age of 16, he had already proven his mettle on the battlefield, stepping in for his father during the siege of Byzantium. His rise to power came swiftly after his father's assassination, when he was only 20 years old. With an iron will and a sharp mind, Alexander quelled the rebellions, united the Greek city-states under his rule, and set his eyes on the vast Persian Empire. His military campaigns are still studied in military academies around the world. His strategy, speed, and sheer audacity led his armies to victory after victory. From the Battle of Granicus to the siege of Tyre, from Egypt's liberation to the grueling battle against the Persian king Darius III at Gaugamela, Alexander's ambition knew no bounds, and his empire grew rapidly. His vision was not limited to territorial conquests. Alexander aimed to meld the cultures of Greece and Persia, to create a new world order where the best of both civilizations could flourish. His vision was revolutionary, and his methods, though brutal at times, were effective. And so, with an empire stretching from Greece to Egypt and beyond, Alexander set his sights on Mesopotamia. With the fertile land between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers under his control, he would have the resources to further expand his empire and bring his vision of a united world to life. But that's a tale for the next chapter. Mesopotamia, a land enriched by the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, was a cradle of civilizations even before Alexander set foot on it. This ancient region, nestled within the Fertile Crescent of the Middle East, was the birthplace of some of the earliest human societies. Mesopotamia, which literally translates to the land between rivers, was a hub of cultural, economic, and political activity. The Tigris and Euphrates nourished the land, making it a haven for agriculture and, consequently, human settlement. This richness gave rise to the growth of powerful city-states like Uruk, and Babylon, each boasting impressive architectural marvels and bustling markets. The significance of Mesopotamia extended beyond its fertile soil. It served as a vital crossroads for trade routes linking the East and the West. The allure of precious commodities like gold, silver, and lapis lazuli attracted traders from far and wide, turning the region into a melting pot of diverse cultures and ideas. Mesopotamia was also a land of profound intellectual advancement. The city of Babylon, for instance, was a beacon of knowledge, its scholars pioneering breakthroughs in astronomy, mathematics, and law. The famed Code of Hammurabi, one of the earliest known legal codes, was born here, underscoring the region's contribution to societal structure and governance. But Mesopotamia was not just a land of peace and prosperity. Its strategic location and wealth made it a tempting target for surrounding empires. The Assyrians, Babylonians, and Persians, among others, all sought to control this pivotal region, leading to periods of conflict and conquest. Yet, despite these upheavals, Mesopotamian society continued to flourish. Its cultural influence seeped into the fabric of the invading empires, creating a rich tapestry of shared knowledge and traditions. A land of such cultural and strategic significance was understandably a coveted prize for any ambitious ruler. And it was within this context that Alexander the Great would arrive, forever altering the course of Mesopotamian history. When Alexander's formidable force met Mesopotamia, it was not merely a clash of arms, but also a confluence of cultures. Alexander the Great, a moniker well-deserved, was no stranger to the art of war. His invasion of Mesopotamia was a calculated move, a strategic dance choreographed with precision. The battles fought were as much about the mind as they were about might. Alexander, with his astute understanding of terrain and tactics, led his army into the heart of Mesopotamia. His first major encounter was at the Battle of Gaugamela. This pitched battle was a testament to Alexander's tactical genius. His forces, although smaller in number, outmaneuvered the larger Persian army, leading to a decisive victory that opened the doors of Mesopotamia for the Greek conqueror. Following Gaugamela, Alexander moved swiftly, consolidating his grip on Mesopotamian cities, one after the other. His strategy was effective: capture the cities, control the trade routes, and command the region. The city of Babylon, a jewel in the Mesopotamian crown, surrendered without a fight, testament to the fear and respect Alexander commanded. But it wasn't just about conquest. Alexander, a student of Aristotle, was also a lover of knowledge. He respected the rich history and culture of Mesopotamia. This wasn't a wanton destroyer, but a conqueror who valued the civilizations he overcame. He assimilated elements of Mesopotamian culture into his own, a fusion that marked the beginning of the Hellenistic period. The victory was not without its costs. Lives were lost, cities were razed, and a way of life was disrupted. Yet the clash also brought about a confluence. Greek and Mesopotamian cultures began to intermingle, leading to a rich tapestry of ideas, arts, and sciences. It was a profound transformation, a metamorphosis that would shape the course of history. With his victory, Alexander's influence began to seep into the fabric of Mesopotamian society. The land between the rivers was never the same again. It bore the indelible imprint of a man who was not just a great warrior, but also a great cultural synthesizer. Alexander the Great had truly arrived, and Mesopotamia was his stage. The Macedonian king's victory was not the end, but rather the beginning of a new era for Mesopotamia. When Alexander the Great set foot in Mesopotamia, he didn't just bring his army, he brought a whole new world. This was a time of change, a time when the winds of Hellenism started to blow across the Fertile Crescent. With these winds came a fusion of Greek and Mesopotamian cultures. This was not a violent clash, but a harmonious blend. Greek philosophy met Mesopotamian wisdom, and the result was a unique, enriched culture that thrived for centuries. But it wasn't just the culture that changed. Alexander's rule brought about economic changes as well. He introduced a standardized coinage system, which boosted trade and commerce. The local economy flourished as it became more integrated with the larger Hellenistic world. Marketplaces bustled, trade routes buzzed, and prosperity spread. Then there were the administrative reforms. Alexander had a vision of a cosmopolitan empire, where all were equal under the law. He introduced a system of governance that was more centralized, more efficient. He established cities, which were structured and organized, reflecting the Greek love for order. These cities became hubs of economic and cultural activities, drawing people from far and wide. Alexander's rule was transformative. He reshaped Mesopotamia in a way that had never been done before. He introduced new ways of thinking, new ways of doing things. He opened up Mesopotamia to the wider world, and in doing so, he changed its very fabric. And yet, despite all these changes, Alexander respected the local traditions. He knew the value of the rich Mesopotamian heritage, and he ensured that it was preserved. That's why, even today, we can see the traces of Alexander's influence in the ruins of ancient Mesopotamian cities, in the artifacts that have been unearthed, and in the stories that have been passed down through generations. Thus, Alexander's influence reshaped Mesopotamia, leaving an indelible mark on its history. Alexander the Great, a king, a warrior, and a cultural bridge, left a legacy that continues to echo through the ages. His conquests, particularly in Mesopotamia, were not just military victories, but catalysts for cultural exchange and evolution. The Macedonian king's arrival in the land between rivers marked a significant shift in the region's trajectory, paving the way for a blend of Greek and Mesopotamian cultures. This amalgamation manifested various aspects, from architecture to administrative systems, from the arts to the sciences. The Hellenistic influence, though initially resisted, eventually became an integral part of Mesopotamian society, fostering an environment of intellectual growth and progress. And thus, the seeds sown by Alexander continue to bear fruit, even in the modern world. So the next time you delve into the annals of history, the Macedonian king and the ancient land of Mesopotamia, forever intertwined by the threads of destiny. Don't forget to subscribe for more interesting facts about history.